Greetings, DMs, GMs, and players. This is the Insomniac GM. I figured it's been a while since I've uploaded a video talking about another monster you can add to your game, and there's one I've been wanting to make for weeks now. But the problem is unfortunately in 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons, monsters seem to have not as much lore as they do in other editions. So my video would only be like 2 seconds long. And so I kept looking at other monsters to do. And this one kept calling me. And finally I just decided, if 4th edition monsters are so short to talk about, why don't I talk about a few different ones in the video? So what I ended up deciding to do is I'm going to cover all the Hydras in Monster Manual 2. So on page 150 to 151, there, we have 3 different Hydras. Now, I will get to the Chaos Hydra for last, but that is the one I've been wanting to make a video on for some time now. Now, as you can see, there's very little in lore for these Hydras. So the lore for the Razor Hydra, so there's 3 Hydras. There's the Razor Hydra, the Heroslayer, and the Chaos. Now, the lore for the Razor is the Razor Hydra glitters with metallic growing form. Sorry, I'm getting distracted from the cats. The Razor Hydra glitters with metal growing from its scales. That's its whole lore right there. So what makes a Razor Hydra so interesting? Well, what they do is when they attack you, they have an ongoing damage they apply to you. Technically like a bleeding effect, but it states in here that it's untyped. That way you can't resist it on that. So, pretty cool. I mean, once again, like, there's not a whole lot to talk about on these. Now you got the Hero Hydra, or Heroslayer Hydra, which with this one, I could actually see this being kind of interesting in like 5th edition and Pathfinder 2nd. I haven't played enough Pathfinder 1st to really know how much this would affect, but if the Heroslayer Hydra is marked at all, like a hunter's mark, essentially it gets a bonus on its attack rolls and it deals more damage. And here it gets a +2 to attack and a +5 to damage. For my Pathfinder 2nd edition viewers, you would know that if it got like a plus like that, if it was marked, that would make the fight a lot more crazy and dangerous. Here you are like marking it, and now those things like critting you more often. I should mention that it only gets this bonus on the target that marks it. So you put a hunter's mark on it, well, now it's doing more damage to you and easier to hit you. So that's the second Hydra, which its lore says, a creature out of legend, the Heroslayer Hydra earns its name from the heroes who fell to its veins. Okay. Now, the last Hydra, and this is the one I've been wanting to make videos on, is the Chaos Hydra. Now, the Chaos Hydra, you don't need to target the head for it to grow more heads. So you could like attack the thing's foot and you do enough damage that it grows another head. So for my 5th edition viewers, you could easily just take a Hydra, use the mythic rules on this creature, like layer the mythic rules on it a few times and just change up the damage type or effect, it's going to make the CR a lot higher, but that's fine. And here it's supposed to be a pretty strong monster. But so essentially this thing, if you bring it down, like, so its health is divided into 4 stages. Each stage you bring it down to, it grows another head. Now, each head it grows, it can attack an additional time. And when you attack, kind of like a beholder, you're rolling to see what damage type this is. So you have the crushing maw, the mind bite, the paralyzing fang, and the venom tooth. So the crushing maw causes the target to be slowed. The mind bite, it causes them to be dazed. The paralyzing fang makes them immobilized, and the venom tooth does 10 poison damage, or an ongoing 10 poison damage. So as you're fighting this thing, it starts getting more attacks and starts getting more effects going off. And you know how Hydras are, like, with opportunity attacks if you go to move away. So this is the one I've been dying to talk about. But again, lore is, I mean, there is another little section of lore off to the side here, like the actual lore. But let me read this part first. So, hailing from the elemental chaos, the Chaos Hydra draws upon elemental energy. As the Chaos Hydra generates more heads, it becomes more cunning. Oh, that's one thing I did forget about this. That actually, was that a homebrew rule I made, or I think it's a homebrew rule I made just by reading that. One or the other. It gets smarter as you fight. I think that's something I created just because of reading that description. But going into the actual lore on here, so originally a native of the elemental chaos, the Chaos Hydra has filtered into the other planes. A Chaos Hydra's 2 heads contain elemental energy, which bite unleash on enemies. As a Chaos Hydra is hurt, its body generates more heads. The bite attacks of a generated head can vary randomly. Once again, I am so sorry about the how noisy my cats are being. They will get a lot noisier if I don't have them in the room with me. But where was I? When one head of a Razor Hydra sinks its fangs into an enemy, the other heads become obsessed with the taste of that enemy's blood. Razor Hydras are also known as Blood Hydras for their ability to detect the scent of blood. That would be cool to have it, like, attack a player. And, like if you buff this thing up, like, with a lot of health, and it bit a player, and now the whole game is them, like, running from this thing, and it keeps following them, kind of like the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3. But each time they see it, it has more heads. Then next part goes into Heroslayer Hydras. Heroslayer Hydras dwell in mountain caves. In early times, humanoids stalked Razor Hydras to collect the Hydra's serrate teeth, which were valued as weapons because they cause victims to bleed long after receiving wounds. So, as I stated, there's not a whole lot of lore with these monsters, and I've been wanting to talk about Chaos Hydras for probably about a month now. But yeah, I figure I'll just talk about all 3 of them right now. I might make more 4th edition monster books. It's just kind of hard because 4th edition has always been the edition I struggle to to get people to play. And so I have very little experience with it, and I hope to one day run it, because these are my first books in my entire collection. I have had them for years now, and they just sit there collecting dust. But I do know my current Pathfinder 2e game, once that's done, we're going to be playing a 4th edition game. So, but in the comments down below, tell me what you think about these Hydras. What's some lore in that you would do with them and that? Okay, take care.